What is up, everybody? Benwa here. Welcome to Tactical Fellowship. The purpose of today's video is to explore the items that I'm using in my pockets as I head out the door into the wild west of the world each and every day. This is my EDC 2025 update, and I'm saying update, but I've actually never done one of these EDC videos before, so this is a fun new thing for me. But I'm using a few items that are new. A couple of these items I've been carrying for a while, but I'm just excited to share with you what is in my pockets and what I perceive as a neat or clever item that you might want to consider as well when you look at EDCing in the year 2025. So let's get into it. Before we get to that though, how about you go ahead and stick your thumb up YouTube's anti-gun love and hold by liking and subscribing. Speaking of which, guys, if you could subscribe, that'd be great. If we could get Tactical Fellowship to over 10,000 subscribers this year, that would be amazing. I've been doing this for a while, and if we could grow the channel to 10K, that would be a great milestone, and it would also help me secure better discounts from vendors when I reach out to them. Speaking of which, before this video ends, you gotta go visit my kit page. It's where you're gonna see this EDC spread out laid before you with all of its links and code glory. So before you leave, check out the kit page for all the items you see in this video, and to taco bet, you feel optimistic this year. You're gonna add something new to your EDC. Let me know what that is in the comments below. All right, let's start with key management. How am I keeping my keys in one place? I'm using the Mammoth Craig key lock. I'm a carabiner guy. They're bigger, they're quicker, they're easier than a lanyard. I like this metallic pop of color, which by the way is an ultramarine. I clip this onto my belt loop and throw these keys in my back pocket. I am a carabiner guy, and this is the carabiner that I'm using for my key management. Moving on, what's on my wrist? Well, I'm kind of lowbrow. What is on my wrist is a black sweatband from Amazon. I am a child of the 80s, and perhaps I am going through a midlife crisis. Either way, these are terribly comfortable, and I suggest you get yourself a sweatband for your wrist and start reliving all the things you love about the 80s. All right, moving on to the next item, how I carry my files, because many of us for our jobs have digital media or some sort of media that we need to bring with us wherever we're going. And in order for me to get my media where I'm at, I use the SanDisk 2 terabyte extreme solid state drive. All my Adobe Premiere editing files are on this. All my footage is on this. I edit straight from this hard drive. It's USB-C, it's fast, it's little. For pocket inspiration, I have my Carry the Fire EDC coin. Ignum Ferrum is a Latin phrase meaning carry the flame. It's my daily reminder to bear forth a flame that's noble and true and be a force for good in a world gone sideways. Also features the TF logo, which symbolizes Firearms, Fellowship, Time, and Tactics. My cash and my cards, they reside in a billfold wallet from Couch. Originally, I found these guys because they make great guitar straps, which I have a few of as well. But they also make awesome wallets from repurposed upholstery of old cars. Inside the wallet here has a few slots for cards and just a simple holder for the cash. It has a spring snap closer. It's functional. These wallets are just plain cool and durable. For my knife, I'm carrying Benchmade's aluminum bug out. It's slim, it's flat, it's simple, it's an extremely attractive folder. I'm amazed how much less space it takes up in my pocket than the Griptilian that I've been using previously for about a decade. The burnt brass color is amazing. The blue pops are pleasing to my eye. This has aluminum instead of a nylon handle, and I like the extra strength of the aluminum over the nylon in that regard. Speaking of strength, it has an M390 stainless steel blade, which is comparable to some of the toughest steels out there. It'll resist cracking even under extreme conditions, and it has excellent wear resistance. 390 steel is probably one of the best options on the market today if you're looking at getting a cutting tool and looking to have it last a long time. The only negative to this knife is, man, the cost is not what I would normally pay for something. I currently have this on a Chase multi-month payment plan. All right, so let's get to the main feature of these videos, which is the gun. My daily carry is actually Arc Division's 43X. Now the 43X does have some nuance, and I made a whole video on the nuance. Despite that, it's still an excellent EDC subgun. You got a built-in barrel slide compensator, you got direct to slide red dot mounting, you have less weight, less girth, less profile, especially at the 3 o'clock in regard to the light and comp to G19 I was carrying there previously. The gun is sitting in a crossbreed Reckoning holster, and this was a pretty big shift for me away from a tier 1 appendix rig that I've been using for a long time. time, I was just getting pains in my abdominal wall, and so I needed to move away from appendix carry, and this has been a good fit for that. The holster is comfortable. The leather backer is nice, especially when you've been using Kydex for a long time. You forget how nice it is to actually have supple leather pressing against you rather than rigid Kydex. It did take me a few tries though to get the tension right on this. I adhere to the upside down shake test, so I need to be able to shake that gun, and if that thing falls out, that is an indicator that my holster is not tight enough. You can get this tight enough, but you need to readjust it as the leather will flex and give as it's in there. So it did take me a couple tries, but eventually I got it right. And that adjustment screw is in this little weird spot right there. So if you're not used to crossbreed holsters, you might miss that. My only gripe with this holster is that it doesn't have a weapon light option, so no weapon lights in this holster. But the 43X that I have with this, you know, I never intended to have a weapon light on it. I wanted to keep it as little as possible, and so that worked out well for just keeping it in the crossbreed reckoning. For mags, I'm using Shield Arms Gen 3 S15s. I'm just using one magazine on me for a total of 15 rounds filled with plus P+ ammo. This is a custom mix for me that I use for all my competition shooting so that I have uniformity across all my guns when I shoot, because I shoot so many of my guns comped, and this gun is comped. The extra juice that a powerful round gives you actually helps work the compensator better, so I keep things even across my system with that. Speaking of the Gen 3 S15s, I've had zero issues with them. They have performed flawlessly. To close out this video, I'd like to give you 3 core upgrades that I did with an EDC gun such as this that I think you might want to consider as well. Upgrade number 1 is a red dot. I put a HoloSun EPS Carry RD2. This is a 2 MOA dot, and one of the things I really like about this is it's not a lint bucket. The enclosed emitter means that if lint collects on the outside, I can just wipe it off and you're good to go. I also think it's good that this one has bigger buttons than the 507K, and unlike the 507K, it doesn't have HoloSun's gaudy white lettering marketing all over it. It's just nice and discreet and black, which is a nice look. Second upgrade I would consider for you is a magwell. On the bottom of this, I have Empire's Katana V3. What I really like about this is the install is very easy, and it swells my hand upward into the gun, and I think that it makes a small gun like this feel much tighter. I feel pushed and locked in with the grip, if that makes any sense. The last upgrade I would have you consider is, and I put it last because I think that this is probably the least important, is an upgraded trigger shoe. And so on this, I have Train with Purposes 43X trigger. I like that this trigger is flat. I do not like the Glock OEM triggers micro mump right in the middle of the trigger. It just throws my finger off. It's not comfortable. It's not intuitive. It's the worst pad for the pad. Train with Purposes trigger is cheaper than most, and so that's a great budget option for you. But I do not like their choice of roll pin. I really wish that they would go to a coiled roll pin that's helping secure the blade safety in the trigger. Coiled roll pins just help expand a little bit in the hole to press against, and so they're less likely to shift out. To close, gear is great, but the most important things when it comes to EDC is to keep your head on a swivel. You're a man. Stop looking at your phone nonstop like you're a child. See trouble, stay out of trouble, and heaven forbid, be ready to navigate deadly trouble. Guys, that's all I've got. I hope you've enjoyed this EDC journey with me. As always, ride fast, shoot straight, get off the couch and into some tactical fellowship, and we'll see you next time.